First things first. Talking Dolphins. Game recap. Dolphins dominate the Falcons, man, and they put a spanking on the Falcons. That score was not. That was a 34-10 that felt like a 56-5, bro. Like it was a when Zach Wilson gets in the game, you got your ass beat. Like you got it, BTA belt to ass, man. So the floor is yours. Take it away, Rob.
Well, look, Herbie, the thing about this game, Herbie, more than any other game this season, is the fact that the Miami Dolphins finally had a complete performance. For the first time this season, Herbie, our rushing defense showed up. Going into this game, Herbie, I would have thought that Bijan Robinson and the Falcons offense, even without Penix and Drake London, just with how good Bijan has been this season, you would have thought that they would have hit a single season game high against this run defense the way they have been playing. But Herbie, this matchup turned out to be Buster Douglas versus Mike Tyson, right? Like the Falcons in the first half only had 10 yards rushing, which is something you would have not expected when you consider the guys who have just destroyed the Dolphins this season in the running game. So it was a beautiful thing to watch, Herbie, to see on the defensive side of the ball, to see the Dolphins actually be able to stop the run, which was able to help them dictate what the offense was doing, right? And on the other end, Herbie, we had a balanced attack. Mike McDaniel leaned in on the run when his quarterback had a swollen eye and was wearing a visor for the first time. And I got to tell you, visor tour was on point. But a lot of that, Herbie, was in part due to the fact that the Dolphins actually committed to the running game. We and it wasn't just feeding Achan. We fed Ollie Gordon, who I can't believe it's taken this long for them to really start feeding him in terms of touches. We fed Jalen Wright, right? Like we have a wealth of running backs, Herbie, and us leaning on the run to help set up the pass is exactly how this team needs to play to have success. Now, I'll be honest. The win doesn't really change my overall feelings on this team. Like I think this regime's time is up. But when you consider the humiliation, the embarrassment that fans have had to put up with the past several weeks with how this team has played on both sides of the ball, it was refreshing, man, to actually see the Dolphins look like a real football team. And props to them boys, man. We've been ragging on them all season. So I will give them credit where credit's due. Tua had undoubtedly his best game in quite a long time. And that's in large part due to the play calling, in large part due to the defense standing their ground, and in large part due to the rest of the offense actually, picking up their slack. This is the first game of the season, because even the Jets game, the Dolphins had their issues. But this was the first game of the season that felt like a team win. It felt like finally complementary football in the right direction. And here we are, you know.
Yeah, so that's the thing that I want to go ahead and really highlight, man, which is complimentary football. Because as long as we've been doing this podcast, one of the things that you've always harped on is the fact that when the offense is good, the defense is bad. When the defense is good, the offense is bad.
All too
When the
often.
offense and the defense are both mediocre, the special teams is atrocious, right? Like,
Right.
you can never get a consistent 360 ball where everything is holding hands and working in cohorts with each other, right? So this is what it looks like when the Dolphins play up to their potential, which shows the Dolphins have no business being a 2-6 team. They have no business being a 2-6 team. That was not a 2-6 team that we just watched at the Atlanta Superdome. Like, it's impossible, or the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, I should say. It's impossible. It's impossible to look at that team, do that to the number one defense, and say that is a 2-6 team. And that's why Dolphin fans have been so pissed off with this current season, this 2025 roster. Because this 2025 roster was actually supposed to be like that the entire season. That
Absolutely.
that Dolphins team should be at least 4-3, right? But we're not gonna go ahead and too harp on that too much. It is what it is. We want to be positive because the Dolphins did win, right? Like, we don't want to beat on a dead horse and rain on no parades, man. So air horns for the Dolphins. Very rare air horn for the Dolphins.
This season,
Very rare air horn for the
Yes!
Dolphin hat. Hey, man. Shout
Yes,
out to
sir.
the hat, man. I forgot what the hat looked like, dog. It's been so long since you brought the hat out, man.
I was damn near about to ban that motherfucker.
All right, so let's progress the conversation a little bit forward, man, because I wanna have a conversation in regards to Tua, man, and I'm calling this Tua's flu game, bro. So this is gonna be connected to to two things. This is going to connect us to our funny tweets of the week, and we'll just go ahead and get to the funny tweets of the week because I want to double back to the conversation, bro. So, let's go and look at funny tweets of the week because there was one common theme in regards to this, right? And let me skip up to this right here, dog. Let's see right here. Bomb. This right here, man. For the sake of the franchise, Tua might have to surgically remove his eye, dog. Like everybody, everybody is talking about Tua in his pink eye, bro. And I just find it hilarious, bro, because so apparently your quarterback is only wrong when he can only see with one eye, dog. Like that's what it is.
It's the hack, Herbie. It's Tua's hidden hack, man. That's apparently, bro. Apparently, it's Tua's hidden hack, bro.
So Tua's flu game, man. Tua had pink eye and he absolutely balled out. Let so go ahead, man. The floor is yours. How did you feel about Tua this game, bro?
Well, listen, Herbie. When all things considered, when you consider the Falcons had the number one defense. And I know, like, overall, the Falcons had some, they had injuries coming into this. No Penix, no Drake London. They were missing a good 5 or 6 starters, so they weren't at full strength. I got you. But they had a lot of their defensive talent, right? And, it was nice to see Herbie Tua resemble like the Tua that we saw today, Herbie, was the Tua of 2023. Even better when you consider the stakes, right? Because granted, the Falcons are now a losing team. I guess going into this game they were 500, so I guess it doesn't count against their can't beat teams over 500 deal. But the Falcons were considered a pretty decent team coming into this game, and to see him be able to play that way, considering how he looked against the Browns last week, right? And then you have no Waller this game. I think Waller is actually back on injured reserve, so we have less weaponry than we did coming into the game. He played well, man, and you saw a lot of things from Tua that we hadn't seen in a while, right? He was far more accurate in this game. He was much better with his anticipation than he's been in previous games this season. And it was just nice to kind of see a vintage Tua, right? To me, Herbie, watching it, it almost kind of felt like a farewell game. Like it kind of felt like, damn, like this might be the last year, or maybe the second to last year we really get to see Tua or feel anything about him. But I'll give him props, Herbie. I mean, to throw 4 touchdowns against the number one defense, especially the number one pass defense, I mean, that's an impressive thing to do no matter how you feel about a guy, right? So,
Absolutely, right? So just to dig into it deeper, right? 20 for 26, 205 passing yards, 8 yards per attempt, 4 touchdowns, and only 1 sack for 8 yards, bro. And had a passer rating of 140. Like, that is what we expect from
and
a
dude,
top
that
five
touchdown
QB.
pass, and it's rare for Tua to make like a wild throw, but that pass to Malik Washington was a hell of a pass, bro. He's on the run, he throws it right in the only spot where Malik could get it. Malik makes a sick catch. It's probably one of the sickest throws of Tua's career, to be honest with you. An out of structure play that looked incredible.
Yeah, yeah, and it was somebody. It was a tweet I seen in regards to Tua. I forgot to save it, but the gist of what the person said was it was never about a lack of ability. It was never about a lack of talent. It's only about consistency with Tua, right? And you can say that about 80% of the quarterbacks in the league, right? Every fan base could say that about their quarterback unless they have one of those guys, right? But that's what separates you from one of those guys. So hopefully we can get this version of Tua for the remainder of the season, man. But now this comes to the last question before we progress throughout the rest of the show. And I have the tweet right here. Homie said, bruh, of course the Dolphins want to start balling, bruh, and ruin the top 3 pick on the line, dog. Or actually, let me get it. Dolphins. All right, let me pull the tweet up. It's actually pretty funny, bruh. Dolphins when the top 3 pick is on the line. Bengals game all over again, dog. So, Rod, are you do you feel like there's another 7-9 team that's coming, bro? Would you just be so mad if that's what happens, dog? Because you guys really should not be winning. Like it's great, it's awesome, but do you actually want these guys to win?
I'll say this, Herbie. It was nice to feel a win today, but it is in our best interest for the future to keep losing, right? And listen, nobody wants to lose, Herbie, but at the end of the day, this is like I'll put it to you like this, Herbie. It would not shock me if the Dolphins rattle off a whole bunch of wins and just get themselves evened up because we've done this multiple times in the recent decades, Herbie. Like I can think of a few seasons where the Dolphins started 1-5, 1-6, and then by towards the end of the season they're 7-7. Like we can never leave well enough alone. We don't know whether we want to be good. We don't know whether we want to be bad. We just want to remain in freaking purgatory. And to Randy, listen, hey Randy, listen. Randy, I didn't even know you were a Falcons fan. Shout out to you, bro. Don't feel bad. Like you guys didn't even have all your horses. You feel me? Like you didn't have Penix out there. You didn't have Drake London playing. Like it happens. It happens.
It happens. It happens. And that speaks to a bigger problem with the NFL as a whole, bro. Like, I get it. This old generation, a lot of people say, oh, back in my day, blah, 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 blah. Dude, these dudes are getting hurt because this is a very, very, very physical game, right? Like, my Cowboys had backups, the backups to the backups playing against the Broncos right now, right? Like, Trayvon Diggs didn't go. He's on IR. Like, we have cornerbacks and defensive backs that I never even heard of in the game. So this is just Lamar Jackson is not playing. Lamar Jackson didn't play against the Bears, and they found a way to lose to Snoop Huntley. Like this is just what the NFL is. It is who is the healthiest team at the end of the year at this point. Cam Scatterbo just broke his ankle, right? Like this
That's
is
injury too.
yeah, that was super nasty, bro. So I hate that so many good players are not playing on every Sunday, but that's just the nature of the beast, dog. That's why you have to draft well. That's why you have to have a lot of depth. That's why you have to have a lot of good players, bro.
Absolutely.
And that's why the Dolphins have been in this situation because the Dolphins, I can't ever think of a team that was a deep Dolphins team, bro.
You ever have one, Herbie? I can't tell. Not in my lifetime. Not in my lifetime. We've
Like
had deep.
a legitimately deep team with a lot of people to rotate, a lot of bodies, a lot of people. Like y'all lose one starter, bro. That whole side of the team is done. One offensive lineman for the Dolphins is out. Team is decimated.
Cook.
One cornerback is out for the Dolphins. Decimated.
Ridiculous.
Cook.